Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls 2 Kita DLC Edition. As you can see, I got the Dragon Talon. Some good pronunciation there. Talon. So, the Dragon Talon is what you get for downloading the DLC. So this is what it is. Dragon Talon guides one to an unknown land. A terribly worn Dragon Talon. Legend has it that in the deepest reaches of the Black Gulch, behind a door locked from the inside, is a magnificent city built for a great sleeping dragon. This talon clearly dates to an ancient times, but clearly vitality emanates from it still. So this gives you a little preview what the DLC, the story of it's going to be about, and that's kind of what that is. And I think this episode will end up getting to go into the DLC. So that's going to be the eventual goal of this episode. I know some people want to watch me finish the story first, the general story, but I think it'll be, I don't know. I think if I'm wrong, I might be wrong, but I feel like there's probably more people who'd be hyped up about seeing the DLC as it just came out. And maybe it'll give some people who haven't decided if they want it or not yet, they can see some impressions of it and make a decision from there. And yeah, let's go ahead and get going. So, oh, you know what I do have to do though? I was just recording stuff for videos. So I'm gonna do a general Dark Souls 2 DLC lore video. That's something I plan to do. And then I have other videos that I've been working on. So I know you guys haven't been seeing many uploads from me lately. I've been working on videos. So you guys know, I've been working hard on the background on things. So don't think I've been neglecting to do that, and I've just been like stalling. The real reason that things have been taking a while is just because some of the videos I've been working on have been taking forever. That's the thing. So as I think I keep on saying, I think I've been mentioning that in these Let's Plays. So we get those 3 bonfire aesthetics. I'm a fan of that specific chest because you can never have enough bonfire aesthetics, especially with farming and the way it works in Dark Souls 2. So I'm pop down to Ferris Lockstone. I think this guy might actually be able to get you from here, but let's go through before he does. I don't really like fighting any of the enemies here. I kind of just try to run through all of them, period. And that's what I'm going to try and do here. But first, let's get the Mask of Judgment, the entire Judgment set, and the Staff of Wisdom, and take a look at all that stuff. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Staff of Wisdom first. And it should be, there it is. Staff of Wisdom. Staff of the Lost Land of Alophis. Sorcery dedicated catalyst cannot be used to cast hexes. Again, Alophis is where Strait is from. Strait of Alophis. The crystal at the tip of the staff greatly augments spell strength. Already a finely crafted staff, made even more effective by its crystal, the brilliance of which has been polished over time with powerful magic. So really, it doesn't give us too much lore there. It kind of just talks about the staff, but that is that. Now, the entire Judgment set, I believe, is the set of the partners. So let me just go ahead and find that. Judgment set. Mask of Judgment. Yeah, so that's the partner set. The mask honoring an ancient goddess. Sin was said to be her domain, but the name of this goddess is long forgotten. And then we know, as Dark Souls 1 players, or if you haven't played Dark Souls 1, that goddess they are referring to is Velka. Little is known about what purpose the mask served, only that it was worn by a person of great authority. It serves the same purpose as it serves in Dark Souls 2. Well, I mean, okay, the mask doesn't, but I mean, the Judgment set is still worn for the same reason. And yeah, this is going to be all we're going to get. And unfortunately, as far as I can tell, this is the only mention of Velka in Dark Souls 2. And Velka is my favorite and non-met god, goddess, etc. deity in the Dark Souls game. In Dark Souls 1. So I really wish there was more of her, or at least I should say any of her in Dark Souls 2, but there is not. So we're going to go ahead and go up this way first. When you're actually trying to run through, this is a long way, but there's a chest up here that we're going to go for. And hey, come over to me. I know there's a guy who's going to be shooting lightning at me. We're going to ignore him, and I think I should be able to get this chest just fine. Yeah, let's actually lure him over before I go to pick it up. Hey, you want to come over here, right? Right? Make up your mind and come swing at me. Oh, no, not like that. That was not the right way to be swinging. It's funny, I just came from playing my NG Plus character, which I haven't played him in a long time, and I was playing him because he was the only one who could actually access the DLC. And he just had so much more health. I forgot that I used a I just switched it over. I don't usually play with a lot of health, but it was something that I switched over for a build that I was doing for some video. And I just had a lot more health than usual while I was doing that, which helped having played the DLC in New Game Plus. So what we're going to do here is, first we're going to run and leap to this treasure chest. And then we're going to wrap around to get a certain egg that I believe Magarold had mentioned to us long time ago. Way more Let's Plays back, Magarold, or Magirold, I think it's Magirold, mentioned this. We got the Drake Keeper's Great Axe and the Drake Keeper's Great Shield. I think we might have looked at some of the Drake Keeper stuff before, but in case we haven't, let's go ahead and take a look at, let's see, where is that Great Axe going to be at? Here we go. Drake Keeper's Great Axe. Yeah, we had the Gurm Great Axe. Okay. An extremely sturdy pitch black Great Axe. Colossal warriors staunchly watch over the shrine, ready to defend its resident, or allow one worthy enough to be granted audience. The resident is referring to is the dragon, and I think the Drake Keeper's Great Shield is going to say the same thing. Yeah, that's going to be the same thing. So, just wanted to double check it. So yeah, again, you don't need to do this unless you're going for the items, that little wraparound way. And we're going to do another wraparound here, which is going to be this, over to this way. So, boxes blocking the path, but don't be fooled by those boxes. You do want to drop down here to get these treasure chests. And I'm positive that I've already gotten all the mimics. So, let's just, let's just do this. Oh my god. You've got to be kidding me. Oh, man. That's hilarious. Whoop, goodbye. Okay. That was an awesome, like, I don't know. That's pretty hilarious that the one I decided not to check is the other one mimic that still exists. I really thought I'd gotten them all. I'll prove myself wrong. Alright. Washing pole and a petrified dragon bone. See, I thought I got them all because I got that entire set. The entire dark set. Or dark armor set. Okay, washing pole. Which a lot of PvPers absolutely hate, including myself, because it has such a ridiculous, insane length. I'm not sure if a recent patch fixed that or not, but yes, its reach is just a little too much, I think. The extremely long blade allows for strikes from great distances, but its construction makes it extremely fragile. So, not really the best weapon, in my opinion, for PvE, but PvP, you kind of exploit it, if you're good with it. Although not that many people use it, so I don't know how many people actually exploit it. Wow, good attack there, actually. Okay. I hate that this guy. These guys are the biggest pain in the asses to kill, in my opinion, of all the people, even including the DLC. Just period. These are the biggest pain in the asses to kill, are these giant Drake Keeper guys. I hate them with a burning fiery passion, especially this one with the shield. It keeps on knocking into my face. I don't know why I use the life gem. It's kind of a waste. I hate him. I hate him so much. Oh god, oh god. Okay, let's get away from him and heal up. Even though, actually, I didn't realize the Radiant Life Gem healed me for so much. Actually would have been kind of okay. Just don't use your shield bash. That's what drives me nuts. I hate the shield bash so much. He always throws me off with it. I don't know how those first two ones hit. Alright. I'll be back. Hello, I'm back. Just to say hello. How do you do? Oh! I was so hoping that would be the kill. Oh, I knew it was a risk. Then I got greedy. And then I missed my dodge. My dog. How sad would it be if I lost my souls here instead of to the Ancient Dragon? I think that would be pretty sad. I'm taking a pretty huge risk here by going to the Ancient Dragon first, because I do intend to fight him. Oh, come. Not even a moment to be stunned. Not even a moment. That was an immediate shield bash from his attack. That's why I hate this guy. That's why I hate this guy so very much. Well done, ass. It's always a lot slower than I think it's going to be. Like, I always misjudge that. That one just is so slow to come down. That rhythm just throws me off. 2, and okay. Not gonna do the 3. Fine by me. Goodbye! You're worse than the Ancient Dragon. I hate you. I hope I never see you again. And I know I'm being harsh, and I don't even care. That's how much I hate him. Alright, so this, do you recognize this? So this little mural is actually the mural that we saw in the Shrine of Winter. And for those of you guys who are paying attention to the DLC, it was in the DLC trailer. And I don't want to go beyond that, talking about DLC stuff until we get there. I'm not sure if some people are going to only watch the Ancient Dragon segment and peace out. But, yeah, so this is actually the exact same mural that we see in the Shrine of Winter. So you have that dragon in the center there. And actually, notice that, you know what I only just realized? The way the sun looks there behind the dragon, and I'm sure this is just a coincidence, but that reminds me a lot of what we see in that chamber that was in Drangleic Castle. That one altar that we saw. Reminds me a lot of that. I'm not saying it is, it's just the style of it is similar. I mean, it's really just shining rays of light, and that's what's supposed to represent coming down from the dragon. And you see people praying to the dragons and looking up to the dragons. So quite the interesting mural. It seems fitting with Aldia, as Aldia seems to want to recreate dragons, and perhaps, I don't know. It's interesting because I don't know how many dragons were necessarily left after Vendrick cleared them out. 3rd dragon ring. We should probably equip that. That's pretty good. Well, we'll equip it later. I like my gold cover the serpent ring +1 while we're still exploring stuff. But after Gwyn's war with the dragons, I don't know how many were actually left for humans to pray to. I'm just kind of like right after that, they massacred all the dragons. So this guy right here is a lot like Dragonfang Villard. He's a lot of like the enemies that we're about to see a lot of. So I'm kind of surprised that attack got me. Oh, geez, that was close. Man, I'm not doing hot today. It's because I wasted all my goodness when I was playing the DLC earlier today. Yeah, the DLC, so on my timing, on my end, it's Tuesday, and I play on Xbox. So, the DLC literally just came out for the Xbox today, for the 360 today, so that's what I was doing all day today. Was playing it and getting footage. So here we have this petrified dragon egg, which would seem to actually be doing stuff here. I almost feel bad taking it. It's in this shrine that someone set up for it. I wonder if there's any special design to it. I don't really notice anything, but it's almost like another gazebo, really. And we get the petrified egg, and you see the dragons flying up there. I'm sure they're not happy that we're taking their egg. Anyways, we took their egg, and where is it? Where is the egg? Is it petrified egg? That's just passed by petrified something. There we go, petrified egg. A large petrified egg surely bears no life. Eggs are vessels that harbor life itself and symbolize the deepest secrets of existence. But what does a petrified egg harbor? So, from dragons, it seems that they create petrified dragon bones. So, it's interesting that an egg still existed and became a petrified egg. So, I really don't know the exact meaning behind this, and that's something that I hope with the DLC it's a little bit figured out, and maybe just take some really critical thinking to really figure it out. Because honestly, I can't say. Unless it's just supposed to be sort of a riddle. Or maybe it's like, what came first? The egg or the chicken or the egg? I don't think that's what it is, but... Anyways, Watch Dragon Parma. So, let's actually, I want to show this one. The Watch Dragon Parma. Because it has a design that I think everyone would be curious to see if they don't... where's the Watch Dragon Parma? Maybe it's not the one I was thinking of. I thought it was. Oh, Watch Dragon... There it is. Okay, yeah, this is the one. Okay. So, a shield decorated by intertwined dragons. The black and white contrast depicts the ebb and flow of the fate of all things living, and the serpentine dragons that watch over the march of time. Or serpentine dragons, I think it's actually pronounced serpentine. The bearer of this shield will be blessed by great fortune in battle. So again, the serpentine dragons watch over the march of time, depicts the ebb and flow of the fate of all living things, and look at that shield. Actually, let's get an even better look. Dark Souls 1 players, I'm sure you already know this, and if you don't, I'm showing it off. Notice that those serpentine dragons happen to be, or would seem to resemble Frompt and Koth, because of the way you can see their mouths are with the whiskers that are coming down, and that they are serpents. It seems that it's Frompt and Koth. And I think actually this was a user-submitted shield that won the shield contest, and I think that's initially what it was supposed to be. It was Frompt and Koth. Frompt, I would assume, is supposed to be represented on the left, and Koth, who's all dark and tries to get you to join the dark race, represented on the right. Anyways, that's a interesting what they did with the lore there, making it so they're watching over and guarding over time. And with that, something to me, I'm like, I don't know how to explain that, because in Dark Souls 1, that doesn't at all seem to be their purpose to me, but that is now their purpose, so, uh-oh. Did I miss a, I don't know, just in case. You know what, I'm gonna be back. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything up there. See you guys in a moment. Okay, so I'm actually gonna equip the third dragon ring to get the stamina boost, because we're about ready to go fight, and the equipment load boost, because yeah, we're about ready to go fight the ancient dragon. But yeah, I'm sorry I don't have more awesome lore and stuff on, yeah, good, on the serpents and Frompt and Koth, and how they are now watching over the ebb and flow of time. I mean, I guess you could just take it at face value and say, okay, well, I guess that's what their duty was all along. I just feel like, I don't know, it just doesn't seem, maybe it's something were changed over time. I think I got a crystal magic weapon, right? The utilization of crystals to enhance soul power is an ancient form of magical reinforcement. We know that was actually Cease whenever it was something that was crystal. It's always Seath related. That's his form of sorceries. So yeah, it's, like I said, it could be one of those things where maybe over time the meaning got convoluted and changed, as we've seen with a lot of Dark Souls 2 descriptions, and that's the way I like to think about it, or prefer to think about it, but that doesn't mean it's right. So, yeah, it could be that that's actually what their true purpose was all along, but it just does not seem like that was the case. Oh gosh, I don't know if I'm gonna survive this. I hate this run. I hate this run so very much. Worst part about Ancient Dragon fight is that, and Ancient Dragon in general. I wonder if anyone's just tried pissing off the Ancient Dragon without doing that whole thing. Hey, how about you guys leave the Ancient Dragon domain? Do you really come all the way over here? It's like, no way. No way. Get out of here. No, seriously, get out of here. I don't want to deal with you. I just don't. Okay? You're very rude. Coming into the Ancient Dragon's Lair. Aren't you supposed to be watching over him? I made it past you guys. I won. I ran past. We were playing tag and you lost the game of tag, even though you guys tagged me a few times. Oh, it worked out. I got Dragon Skill. What do you know? Alright, so I didn't even really honestly need the heal. Ancient Dragon fight, doesn't matter because he kills you in one hit. Doesn't now. It's weird that it sounds just like an orb, you know? So one of the things with the Ancient Dragon, too, that's strange about it is it actually talks to you, whereas none of the other dragons actually talk. Like Dark Souls 1, the dragon, you cut off its tail, doesn't talk to you. You know, the everlasting dragon in Ash Lake. Sorry, it's funny, I'm being quiet while I'm reading the subtitles, and in like King's Field I would dub the subtitles myself, but it has this sort of dub. So we get the Ashen Mist Heart from it, and that's all it's going to say to us. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Ashen Mist Heart. The Ashen Mist Heart, manifestation of Ashen Mist, received from the Ancient Dragon. The magic of the Ancient Dragon allows one to delve into the memories of the Withered, and you actually need the Ashen Mist Heart to access the DLC. So, that is the barrier of entry for the DLC. How to piss off a dragon. Well, I think if we hit it a couple times, it'll say, "Ow, my foot, you jerk. Ow, my foot, you jerk." There we go. Now we pissed off an ancient dragon. What are you gonna do first? Oh, you're gonna fly. Great, that's the worst one. So, according to my guide on... Oh! Alright! I was too close to the tail. I thought he was gonna go the other way, so I tried duking the other way. Okay, well, I'll see you guys in a moment. Ancient dragon. Failure number 1. Well, there go all my souls. Just like that on the run back. Alright, so he's... Whoa, shh! I thought he was gonna fly. Whoops! Lost track of that. Did the poundy tail. Alright, I'll be right back. Hey guys, and I am back. So, as you can see, oh, I'm about to die too. What do you know? Hey guys, and I am back. So, all those deaths that have been happening have, for the most part, been from my favorite, the run back. So there's a couple things I changed up about my character and what I'm using. He's gonna should do a tail stomp here, I think. Or are you gonna fly? I guess you're gonna fly. Usually he does a tail stomp at that point. Anyways, I added a stamina ring to make it so, or the Florentine ring, so that way I could, you know, boost up my stamina, because how much health you have doesn't matter here, because everything's going to be an instant kill unless you're wearing the Germ Shield, and you actually can use the Germ Shield to your advantage here. And I think the ring, the Gower's Ring of Protection is also helpful here. But whatever, this strategy usually works for me unless I'm dumb. And like I was the last time, I was actually doing just fine against him last time when I died. Or, not last time was a cheap kill from him, but the last real time I fought him. So, oh crap, I think I started too late. Jeez, that was close. That one was a little too close for comfort. Do your tail stomp. Nope, not doing your tail stomp. Going a little out of order there, huh? I'm not sure what to think about that. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. You are really not playing nice here. You're really close to the edge. Alright. Well, hopefully he will not be a dick and actually fly somewhere I can attack him. How about you fly somewhere nice? Cool. Thank you. That's the problem about this strategy, is you actually can get completely screwed by it if he decides to fly his tail off the edge. But I don't know, for me, he usually doesn't. I've had people complain to me. I made a guide on how to defeat the Ancient Dragon, which is this method. And I've had people complain that he always flies his tail over the edge. And it honestly doesn't happen to me that often, so... I've killed him multiple times. Both on my own for my stream, and now this will be yet another time. And yeah, I don't know, that's just not an issue that typically arises for me. But that is frustrating. I mean, he's already an incredibly frustrating boss, so make him just that bit much more frustrating. So yeah, something I did say, or I was talking about, was that I have Gower's Ring of Protection. And yes, or not Gower's Ring of Protection. I have the red Tearstone ring. And yeah, so I do have it equipped. It's kind of just like a thing for me where if it happens to come up and I get hurt on the way, then I'll use it. But I hate the run back so much more, as I think I was saying, than fighting the Ancient Dragon, that I'd rather just deal with the Ancient Dragon, hurt him a few more times, than keep on dealing with the run back and risking that. So, yeah, that's why my health's not lower than it is, even though I have the red Tear Stone equipped. Another thing I talked about last time I was dying was the fact that I lost all those souls that I lost. And I know a lot of people are probably really annoyed about that, and just understand that for me it's not a big deal, so hopefully you won't think of it as such a big deal, because it's not a big deal to me. So yeah, I hope you guys aren't too annoyed about all those souls that I lost, because at this point, I could probably beat the game at the level I'm at, really. So, it's nice to level up, don't get me wrong, but I just don't need it, so it's not a big deal. It's like, okay, if I can, cool. If I can't, well, that's too bad. That's a shame. Yeah, see, last time I misjudged that, and I thought he was going up into his flying attack, and apparently he was going into tail stomps. So, that was how I got screwed over last time. This should be fly attack, yeah. See, he keeps on getting close to the edge for me, but he's not quite going over. You gotta watch out for that smash when he falls back down. That's a really annoyingly stupid way to die that can happen, and when it does, you're just like, oh, me! That was totally my fault. When he flies off the edge, that is not your fault, and that is annoying, but that one, yeah, that's one where I go, oh, I can't believe I let that crap happen. Oh, no. Oh, no! Don't tell me. Don't, okay. Whew! That was a close one. I don't like being on this side of him for whatever reason. I get nervous on that side. This side makes me, I feel like I gotta be on this right side. It just makes me nervous. Okay, come on. One more hit. There we go. Ancient Dragon, you're done. Okay, so as far as real tries go, that is my second real try. Soul of a Giant, Petrified Dragon Bone. If you want to wear the Silver Covetous Serpent Ring, that's kind of actually a good idea because you get extra. You do get extra souls from him for that, a lot of extra souls, because he gives you 120,000, as you can see. So that's actually a decent chunk from those Silver Serpent Rings. Or Serpent Ring plus 2 if you have it. As far as lore goes, though, we got some really big lore stuff in this moment right here. So, Ancient Dragon drops a Soul of a Giant, as you can see right here. So now I have 2. So that would indicate that, hey, there is a Soul of a Giant in it for some reason. Another thing it dropped was a Petrified Dragon Bone, and here you can see a Petrified Dragon Bone. So another thing about it is, in my opinion, this dragon looks a lot like the dragon from Seath's Lair, from the Seath's Lair. Well, Seath was there. Sorry, from Duke Seldora's lair, where Freya was. Soon Freya is Seath. Or Freya is harboring Seath's soul, I should say. Freya isn't Seath, it just has Seath's soul in it. But that dragon there, when you go into that memory, this dragon looks just like it. So, in my opinion, what I think the ancient dragon we just fought was, is I think it used a petrified dragon bone from that dragon, from Freya's lair. I think it used a petrified dragon bone from that. Aldia used that, and he combined it with the soul of a giant to create the ancient dragon. Now, if Aldia is the ancient dragon, that's up for debate, and I think it's very possible, although I don't know if it is the case. I think it's possible. So, it's definitely a high possibility, even though I know there's people who think it's Navalan still. I know there's people who absolutely think it couldn't possibly be Aldia. The biggest piece of evidence to me against it being Aldia, that ancient dragon being Aldia, is the fact that it doesn't drop Aldia's soul. And Vendrick has a soul, so I'd imagine that Aldia would have a soul. At least, I think, yeah. Doesn't Vendrick? Maybe Vendrick. I think Vendrick has a soul. Yeah, Vendrick has a soul. So anyways, since it doesn't drop a soul of Aldia, that would be my biggest complaint against that theory. But it's kind of still a mixed bag with me and how I feel. And again, hopefully DLC might clear up some of that, and we shall see. So yeah, dexterity is good. Strength, I could probably, I'd like some more strength. Some more vitality, some more endurance, let's go with that. And now we're going to start going into memories. So before I do the DLC stuff, and start getting into that, since we were just talking about the Ancient Dragon and we're on this whole Ancient Dragon train, let's go ahead and go see our other ancient dragon, the one that is in Duke Seldora's archive and Freya's archive. So that's going to be our next stop. So let's go ahead and do that. And that's going to be over Grave of Saints. Well, I'll see you guys there in a moment. We're back at Zeldora, Bright Cove Zeldora, which since we're not in NG Plus at the moment, this should be a little bit easier. Should be a little bit easier for us now. And let's go ahead and drop down. I'm just going to run through, because that's what we're doing. Doing the whole run through. Hey, guy. Goodbye, guy. See, I could be a speedrunner. Although I'd never be as good as Noobist. If you guys like watching speedrunners, I highly recommend checking out the Noobist, just Noobist. I don't think he goes by the Noobist, but check out Noobist. He has some really awesome speedruns of both Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2. Highly recommended. And there we go. Drop down, and we're pretty much halfway there. Or more than halfway. Hey, spider. Take care of you. And I think, something I wanted to talk about is, as far as the delay, or I should say delay, as far as the slower Let's Play releases has been going, and other videos, I'm really sorry about that. A lot of it has to do with just my computer space and computer time and things like that, and how long it takes for me to render out Let's Plays and just even other videos too, and how much space I have. So I've been working really hard on the next Super Show, and this next Super Show literally at the moment is 100 gigabytes of space on my computer. And my computer, I've been trying to like clear up space, and I just keep on, it's not. And I keep on having issues getting space, so I have an external hard drive where I constantly transfer things over to, especially like I keep a lot of extra footage that I record for Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2 to keep it organized. Oh, something people have been asking me about is what these carcasses are that you see right there. If you can see that extra carcass hanging out. I'm honestly not sure what that is. And there you see one right there. It's really random. And I think there's one other spot in the game where we find this. I don't know what it is. And I've had people ask me that, and I honestly just don't know. So if anyone has any thoughts on what those carcasses are, I'd love to know. But yeah, anyways, the problem is with the Let's Plays is, A, they take up a huge amount of space because the file that I transfer and turn them into ends up being 50 or so gigabytes. The other issue beyond that is that it just takes up so much time, because first I have to convert it into this 50 gigabyte file, which takes an entire night. And then beyond editing, with especially Dark Souls 2, because I actually do a bunch of work, hours of work editing, for like 4 to 6 hours of work editing for Dark Souls 2, which isn't bad, it just is what it is. But then the issue is then I have to, that takes up space, then I have to, again, from there, turn it into a file, and create that file, and compress it. And compressing it takes, again, 6 hours, or 6 to 8 hours, something like that. Maybe 4 it is 8 hours, but still around 6 hours. And I can't do anything on my computer while it's doing that, other than write. And same with while it's converting the file over to a different type. And I know I've talked about this before, but that makes it so I can't edit. So if I'm in the middle of editing something, like a bigger video that I want to edit, I can't do it. So that ends up being the issue. If I could just throw it on a different computer and let it do its thing, it'd be less of a problem, but I just don't have that. So if you notice this is new, this crystal that's jutting out by this dragon here, which, by the way, I absolutely am 99% sure is not Seath. I know a lot of people debate that. I'm sure I'll get comments debating, like, no, it's Seath up there. Let me show. Okay, first of all, Seath does not have legs. See that right there? That's a leg and that's a paw. And then if we look at the other side, you can see paw and a leg. So you notice it has 4. Seath doesn't have that. The head looks nothing like Seath's head. It's not Seath. I really do not at all think this is Seath. And then, as we go in here and examine this, we're going to go into the memory of this ancient dragon, and you will find that it died in Ash Lake. Seath betrayed all the dragons in Ash Lake, and that is why all the dragons are dead. Well, part of why is because Seath betrayed them, and Seath survived Ash Lake. I mean, this isn't Ash Lake here, but this is the time of the ancients. As you can see, Dragon Memories is the time of arch trees and gray crags, and you can see the broken down arch trees, and you can see gray crags everywhere. Everything is gray, and that is the dragon's memories. So this dragon is a dragon who happened to die during the war of the ancients. So here we see this dragon again, and I really think that ancient dragon that we just fought, does it not resemble this dragon? I think it does. So I really think that petrified dragon bone that we found is from this dragon right here, and that's who we were talking to. And I think Aldia took that petrified dragon bone from this dragon, and that is what he used to combining with the soul of the giant to create that ancient dragon that we met. And there's more proof that we will get right here is from this ancient dragon soul that we get from it. And that's all we're actually going to get from it. If we examine, we go back. And I'm going to show you guys that ancient dragon soul as soon as we get back. And because the ancient dragon soul, interestingly, it actually talks about the ancient dragon, who we talked to when we got this, the way to visit this ancient dragon's memories from. So if we look at the ancient dragon soul, let's go ahead and go up to it. First of all, it's a great soul. I want to point that out. But soul of the great ancient dragon that stands magnificently deep within the shrine. This powerful being stands and waits for whoever may visit him. Use the dragon soul created by those who peered into the essence of the soul to acquire numerous souls or to create something of great worth. So, soul of the ancient dragon that stands magnificently deep within the shrine. That seems to be talking about the dragon shrine. The powerful being stands and waits for whoever may visit him. Again, talking about the ancient dragon who we met, who we got the Ashen Mist Heart from. So I really think that Aldia used a petrified dragon bone from this dragon right here. And a lore video I've been wanting to make that I'm planning on making is a lore FAQs video for frequently asked questions that I get. And one of them, a lot of them, especially with the Aldia video, is who's the ancient dragon? What is the ancient dragon? And then also with the Duke Seldora video, I was constantly getting, who is that dragon? What is that dragon? This one right up here. So I'm going to do a video on that and talk about that. Yeah, so that's one thing that I'm going to do. And then another thing I'll probably address is the old Dragon Slayer. So if you guys have thoughts and questions for this FAQ video, let me know. For the most part, if you have some obscure thing that I honestly don't know, like Gavlon, there's really not too much lore to him. There is a good video, and I'll try to link to it in the description, that someone did a Gavlon lore video. But there was really not much on him, I'm sorry. I know a lot of people love Gavlon, but he wheels and he deals. That's what more do you need to know about Gavlon? But yeah, there's other characters who, like, and little things like that Carcass and things that I honestly don't know, and I'm sorry, but for this FAQ video, it'll probably mostly be things that people ask me a lot of, like this dragon, and like the old Dragon Slayer. So if there's some other things that, if you guys have suggestions, I'll look into it. I do read all of your guys' comments. Every single comment I read. And I'm sorry if it takes me a while to get to them sometimes, but it's just a matter of, it takes hours upon hours to respond to all the comments at this point in time. And reading them I do, because I can constantly just read it as I get it, no matter where I am, because I have it so my phone's set up to get email responses whenever I get messages. So if I'm out at the gym working out, I get a message, I read it. If I'm eating lunch by myself or something like that, I read my messages. That's what I do while I'm eating breakfast or eating lunch or eating dinner, or at the gym and I'm in between sets, or taking a break from breakdancing or something like that. So I do read every single comment. So I'm sorry if lately I've been having trouble getting back to you guys, but I really do try my best. Anyways, back to the Ancient Dragon. The other thing I want to point out with him is, you notice, look at his soul and the way it looks. This Ancient Dragon soul, if you look at it, looks just like Old Iron King's soul, looks just like Soul of the Rotten Soul, looks just like Soul of the Lost Sinner's soul, indicating, once again, if you guys remember when we killed the Duke's dear Freya, it dropped Sea Soul. That it actually drops Sea Soul, but it doesn't drop the Great Soul. And the Great Soul we have to run over and pick up from this. So that indicates that actually Sea Soul isn't a Great Soul. It's actually the Ancient Dragon that's a Great Soul. Which is weird, because I know there's the whole thing of, like, well, dragons don't really have souls, do they? And Dark Souls 1, I don't think they did. But hey, anyways, this Great Soul is from the Ancient Dragon. Not from Duke's dear Freya, not from Seath. We got Sea Soul when we killed Duke's dear Freya. Again, indicating this isn't Seath, because otherwise we were going to get the Ancient Dragon Soul with the Pale Drake Soul, the old Pale Drake Soul, and we don't. We get the old Pale Drake Soul with Freya's Soul, and Freya's Soul looks like this. So that is what Freya's Soul looks like. The Duke's Sea Soul or the old Peldrake Soul goes along with that. Other thing that has to do with is someone was telling me, like, or there's one person who was, like, arguing with me about the souls, and I don't remember exactly what it was pertaining, but they were arguing with me about how all the souls were clearly, all the great souls, this is what they thought. They thought all the great souls, which would be these ones right here, were souls from the bosses that we have to fight to get into, for Dark Souls 1, that we have to put in the Lord Vessel. And that's actually not the case. So that right here makes it so it's not the case. So actually, Duke's Dear Freya or Old Peldrake Soul isn't considered a great soul. Probably because it's a fragment of Gwyn's soul. So that was actually, I think they were arguing that Four Kings is one of the souls or something like that. And that was their reasoning for it. And the Four Kings, as far as I know, doesn't show up in the game at all. So, anyways, that is that. Old King Soul. Yeah, Four Kings, as far as, like I said, as far as I know, don't show up, unfortunately. But again, it would seem something that's a fragment of Gwyn's soul isn't considered powerful enough to be a great soul. This also relates to possibly stuff we'll see in the DLC about, well, what did Vendrick have to do to become a king? And it also relates to, well, maybe there were more than just 4 great ones when Vendrick had to kill 4 old great ones. Maybe there happened to be more than 4 in the first place. Maybe there were a different 4, and 4 new ones formed, or something to that extent, as this ancient dragon seems to be considered a great soul. So that's a possibility. And again, hopefully we'll find out more at the DLC. And actually, speaking of which, I just warped to the wrong spot, and we're going to go ahead and go into the DLC. First thing we're going to do, though, is go talk to Vendrick. Yes! Turns out, and I only just found this out late tonight, like literally an hour ago, you can, thanks to Elliot, thank you so much, man, you actually go into the DLC. So that's what we're going to do. See you guys in a moment. Alright, and we are back in Undead Crypt, and again, thank you so much to Elliot Johnson for being the one to point this out to me. Yeah, so this isn't something I honestly would have thought to do unless I was replaying the game and just happened to get to this point. It would have been interesting if I got to this point earlier with Kita, but then again, you actually have to come back to notice this. It would have been later with Kita, because it would have been, I would have probably noticed this, I guess, for the first time if someone hadn't told me. I would have noticed this for the first time when we were coming back to kill Vendrick. So we actually, at this point, we have 2 giant souls, so I probably actually could kill Vendrick, even though it would take a ton of hits. I mean, I guess technically, if you're willing to break all your weapons, you could basically kill Vendrick with no giant souls. But something we get here, there's hollowed out Vendrick, and now, with the DLC downloaded, Vendrick's cloak is glowing, so we're gonna go into his cloak! Hello, Vendrick! So this is, again, something that I wouldn't have noticed, so I might have noticed it later on, but I really have to give a big shout out, again, to Elliot Johnson for that. So, we're in the Memory of the King. And you can see here we are in the Undead Crypt, and there's Vendrick. And we get to see what he actually looked like. There's our man. Say hello, Vendrick.
Seeker of fire, coveter of the throne. I am Vendrick, ruler of Drangleic. As flame rises, so does it fade. Such is the way of things. Do you intend to link the fire? Then you must first take the throne. Prove your worth. Find the ancient crowns. Seek adversity, and they will be yours. And your wishes granted.
So it's interesting to me that he actually seems to be okay with us linking the fire. That's interesting.
And your wishes granted. And your wishes.
Oh wow, okay, so that's all he says. So actually, he'll tell you more after you finish the DLC. So that's all he tells us for now, apparently. So, alright, I didn't realize that. So, I haven't tried killing him in his memory, and it's something I don't want to do yet until after all the DLC's over. So if anyone has tried, and they know what happens if you attack him in the memory, I would love to know. Please let me know if you know what happens if you attack him. because that's something I'm really curious about. I don't know if Hellkite Drake pulled audio for that. That's actually a video I have to watch of Hellkites, because I think Hellkite was the one who first discovered from pulling files that the DLC had extra Vendrick lines, or actually had Vendrick lines. So props to Hellkite Drake for that. And actually, if you guys haven't checked out his channel, make sure to check out Hellkite Drake's channel. He does a great job finding all the unused content in the game. So major props to Hellkite Drake for both Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2. He goes into those games, does an amazing job. And alright, so we're going to head to the DLC area. So anyone who wants to drop out at this point, sorry, that's what we're doing. Everyone is sticking around, thanks for sticking around. This will probably be the rest of this episode, which is only like going to be 7 more minutes or something like that. And then probably next week, or the next episode, next week, whenever it is, next episode will probably be more DLC until I finish it up. And that's how I think I'm probably going to do it. So I'm actually interested here because I haven't played the DLC in New Game Normal. I played in New Game Plus for my game, because I think that was the only character I had that was close enough to just go straight to it. It was a New Game Plus character. And I did play the game when I went to E3. I had a chance to play the DLC and get a sample of it. Played it for about 30 minutes and got through the top portion of it. And something I gotta say is I'm glad at this point. I think I've proven myself in the sense of being a trustworthy source, because everything I said would happen has happened. So therefore, I'm a trustworthy source of information from what I talked about. So here we go. If you download it, and again, this actually just comes with the patch. So this stuff is all patched. You will see this if you have the patch, that this Shrine of Winter obelisk here has appeared next to the bonfire. And if we actually go ahead and look at all these marks, forbidden is the path to the ancient king's domain. Trespassers will face adversity befitting a monarch. Stuff that Vendrick was kind of telling us. With water dry and path amiss, woeful temptation is dismissed. Way to rhyme on that one. The city of the sunken king sleeps, as does the dragon within. So again, we're hearing a lot about a dragon. Let's go inside, because we can. And you guys may have noticed that I'm not online right now. Reason being is that this is dedication, guys. I actually think I sprained my ankle today doing gymnastics and all that stuff that I do. And hopefully it's not, but it could have been a sprain. I felt a pop when I landed on my foot, and it hurt beyond hell. It hasn't been swelling up, but it's still a little tender walking on it, and I moved all my equipment so I could actually record this. And I don't know where I was going with that, actually. I'm dedicated. If I remember where I was going with the whole point of that, I will come back to it. Oh, well, anyways, let's go ahead and open up this cool door here. So that was actually earlier, and I was like, I gotta get another Let's Play out. I absolutely have to get one out. So, and I want to make another one. So, I was in my room just editing for a while, a new video with my leg propped up, and I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna go downstairs, move all my equipment, and I'm gonna make it happen. I really like the entrance to this DLC. One thing I gotta say about this DLC is I really like the aesthetic of it. I think it's a really cool looking area. Another thing that I'm going to give props to this DLC for is the verticality of it. I really enjoy the vertical design of it. They actually did a good job of making it wrap around a lot of verticality to it. So I actually think this is one of the cooler areas. The whole trap thing, I was actually honestly a little iffy on it when I first played it at E3. And part of that was, until it's Shulva, the Sanctum City is where we're at. And we're going to meet a lot of Sanctum guards and Sanctum Knights here. But, yeah, I was a little iffy on it at first. So here we have that, remember Sleeping Dragon that we're hearing a lot about? Well, meet Sin, the Sleeping Dragon. There he is. You might notice, too, that he has a blade sticking out of his back right there, and then he flies away. And I just realized what that blade is. I think we actually find that blade. Anyway, so he just flies away for the time being, so remember that dragon. Actually, when I was playing, here's the thing they did. So they closed off certain areas in the E3 and the DLC that I was playing when they had it set there. And the dragon was actually just hanging out here. It was kind of weird. Like, I was literally able to just whack at his tail and he wouldn't move, whack at his head, he wouldn't do anything, and walk underneath and all that. So that scripted event didn't happen in the version of the DLC that I got to play at E3. But yeah, other than playing at E3, which I'm assuming was just New Game Normal, I was playing New Game Plus earlier today. So that's how my experience with this. So I'll be really curious to see what's different in New Game Normal. So we're at the Sanctum Walk and Old Growth Balm, and we're gonna see something kind of familiar with the Artorias of the Abyss DLC right here, which would be what looks to be an elevator shortcut right there. And yeah, anyway, something I like about this. I don't know if I like necessarily some of the puzzle stuff. To me, is a little to the point of a little tedious. It was cool at first, so I don't know. I guess I tend to like puzzles. I guess I'm lying. I like the puzzles here. I was trying to come up with a reason to not like it. I'm like, why am I doing that? I did like the puzzles in this. Whatever. I was trying to figure out, I guess, why I was only kind of iffy on it, the DLC, when I first played it, and why I enjoyed it so much when I actually had it. And it could have just been the setting of playing it at E3. That could be all it is. Oh, I gotta change all my stuff over, I just realized. Now that I think about it. This is gonna get really annoying. Can I stun these guys or not? In the DLC, I definitely couldn't. Nope. Not gonna be able to stun them in one hit. Yeah, I'm actually gonna switch over to some better stuff for doing this. I have the wrong stuff equipped. Let's go and equip the Dragon Ring. Okay, good. I like the Stone Ring, unless it doesn't end up stunning them. Ring of Blaze is nice, although I think I'm gonna do let's see. I'm gonna go Gold Coveted Serpent Ring +1. And I think that'll be it for now. I could equip some more stuff that I want, but I want to be able to actually get items. Item drops, and see if there's any that I missed when I was doing my own playthrough, because I'm still trying to figure all that stuff out. Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, I wanted to pop into one of these, but I think I popped into the wrong one for an item. Yeah, hopefully I won't die from this, but I might. Well, we'll see. I guess I didn't. Okay, good. Whoops. And is there any item up? Nope. Okay. It's funny, I just played this earlier today, and I don't totally remember where everything is. Anyways, Stone Ring doesn't do anything. Alright, I really don't need the Stone Ring equipped then. Okay, well, there's still 3 guys here. There are 3 guys in the New Game Plus version of it. So I probably shouldn't run New Game Plus stuff, but that's what I'm going to be noticing the whole time I'm doing this. So, like, how different is it? How much easier is it, I guess, is the real question. So you can actually use this to surprise and pop it up on the enemies who are standing around here, and that's really what I should have done. And actually, it's kind of useful here to make it so the archers don't come at you, but I'm going to get on it first. Yeah, so this will actually create a nice block between the archers on this side, but you want to raise up that one and jump onto it, because that way you can get this Dark Quartz Ring +3. So like I was saying, guys, +3 rings are in this one. Not a lot of them, but there are some. So I'm imagining the next couple DLCs will have more +3 rings. That's something that I mentioned that I took note of and brought it to you guys first. At least I think I was the first one to reveal that information. And probably only one to reveal that information from the DLC. Wow, that was really close. That could have been bad. Good thing it wasn't bad. Good thing it did not matter at all. So something I could do is knock that down and then climb down onto it and not have to drop down here. But we're just gonna drop down. It's all good. And at some point I should really unequip my Stone Ring, as I don't think it's doing anything because it doesn't stun these guys in one hit. So I don't really need that Stone Ring anymore. Come and follow me. Come and follow me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna activate the shortcut here, and then we're gonna wrap around, and I'll probably wrap this up. Okay, fine. Whatever. I don't think this one actually dropped. Oh, actually there is something on it. So there are a lot of little hints here to get these items that do, like that right there would be a good hint, because you see that as it flies up, that you want to actually play around with jumping around on these things. And there's a bunch of secrets, so definitely make sure to play around with all the levels of it if you guys haven't yet. When I say that, I mean sometimes they have middle tiers. Check those middle tiers. Just check those middle tiers, if you would. Smash you in the back. And I think actually there isn't anything over here, but I'm gonna double check. So What you will see though is this, because we could come down this way if we wanted to. If we got on that, if we hit the switch and then ran over in time, we could come down that way. And then this is another one right here that we could come down. Now another thing you can do, and I tried it, is you can go down this and jump on that ledge down there, and then run over to those passages and check them out. There's nothing in them. I tried. There's nothing. So I think there's an item over here. Yeah. Let's go and grab that. Get that poison stone. And oh, Sanctum Soldier Gauntlet. See, that's why I'm wearing this ring. You know, that's why I'm doing it, for that. So these guys, I think, spew corrosive mist at you, and that's their little thing that they do. And we also, I think the bombs are new to the DLC too, if I remember correctly. I don't really use that type of stuff typically, so that's why I don't just have it down pat. Like, yes, it is. It's just I'm really bad at. That's something I'm bad about in games. Is I'm just bad about using perishable items. I get weird about it, and I know there's no reason to get weird about it, but I just do. Oh, actually, let's go ahead and drop down here. So let's drop down, keep on getting all these items, and this guy I don't really need to kill. I don't think. Yeah, we're gonna have some people chasing me, but we're not gonna worry about it. We're just keep going this way. And yeah, so I don't think you get anything from lowering and dropping out here either, but that one I could be wrong about. That's the only one I don't think I tested when I was testing everything out earlier today in my New Game Plus run. So that one's the only one I can say I'm honestly not sure about, but I was kind of looking down, I didn't notice any passageways. And I just wanted to keep on exploring the DLC instead of checking every tiny nook and cranny. So if there is something down there, please do let me know. And alright, so what we basically just did here with this poison bite ring +1 that I just picked up, and mainly the big thing I did there was I raised up this right here by hitting that. And actually, this is something we could have gotten before. So you can hit these things with arrows. If we point at it and shoot at it, we can actually drop and lower these things. So actually, now that I think about it, I've got my. You know what? Let's do it. I've got my feather. We'll just lower this and see what happens. I don't think there's gonna be anything, but might as well check. And it is nothing. So we're gonna use the feather. So guys, yeah, that's gonna wrap me up for this one. I'm probably gonna just go ahead and run over, raise this up, and then yeah, and I'll wrap this up. So thank you guys so much for joining me this edition. Sorry, part of it was me talking about delays and all that stuff. I just always feel bad when it's taking me a while, because I know people want more Dark Souls content from me, and I am making it, I am working on it, and I do have a bunch planned, so don't think I'm forgetting it. I know I keep on talking about the Super Show, because I've been putting a huge amount of time into it, but I have not at all forgotten about Dark Souls, and I'm not dropping Dark Souls stuff, so please do not think that if you are worried about that. And I do want to do a general Dark Souls 2 DLC lore video. I do want to do an FAQ lore video. And I have another lore video that I've been wanting to make for a while. I was waiting for this DLC to see if it explained anything new, and it didn't. So now I feel comfortable releasing this other lore video. I want to do another 10 Things Dark Souls 2 video. I want to do other Dark Souls content. And then I have this Super Show, and I actually have another new series that I want to start, which non-Souls related series. So anyways, I'm not going to say what that is, but I'll just let it be a surprise for when it happens. But thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Later, guys. And for those of you guys who stuck around, sorry, didn't do it at the beginning because I was looking at the thing, but I was looking at my item I got, but it's Dark Souls 2 Kita Edition! Didn't really work. See you guys next time. Later, guys. Peace. So I just randomly remembered the point to my story, and I figured I'd divulge it for why about my sprained ankle, possible sprained ankle. I really hope it's a minor one if it's a sprain. Really hoping that. But point of the story was that I sprained my ankle, and I got down here, and it turned out that I have to update my information for payments on the Xbox, and I guess my Xbox Live account just ran out, so I've got to redo it and get another year, and my wallet's upstairs, so I can redo that. And I was like, I'm not doing another trip on this ankle. I'm just not doing it. So that was the whole point of the ankle story, was to explain why I'm not playing online, is because right now I can't, and I'm probably gonna pay that tomorrow. But yeah, anyways, that was the point. In case you guys were wondering, just want to make sure I brought that up. See you guys.